This is Morning Express, and let's just start off with that business quote that whatever is intimidating you is given permission by your timidity. And many of us might be timid about what we do as a career. As you develop in life, one of the things that of course we want to do is do something that you love. But again, there is the economy side of it, and you think, well, I love to do a thing, but sometimes I don't because it will not pay the bills. Today we'd like to see whether you can bridge that gap between making sure that you pay your bills, but at the same time you enjoy your career. This is your money, and every Tuesday we look at your money. But this for a number of Tuesdays, we're going to have a series where we'll be looking at your career specifically. First of all, identifying your career. Secondly, are you in the job that you love to do? If you wanted to change, how do you go about that? To a point where you even write your CV, how you write it, how you appear for an interview, some of the do's and don'ts and all that will be handled. But today we're looking at the basics, your career, and identifying some of the things that you're made out to do. And one of the things we did, we went out to look at some people who are already working, and we wanted to find out how did they land where they are. Are they enjoying what they're doing? Do they intend to change? But here's some of the excerpts of what we gathered.
Hi, my name is Joy Mwangi. I'm a producer, currently producing Entrepreneur and Club Kiboko.
My name is Mate Tongola.
What's the career that you're in?
I'm a journalist at Standard Group.
Henry Orivo, video editor.
My name is Najma Ismail. I'm a news anchor and reporter.
My name is Luka Nami. The profession is a journalist.
Not at all. It's something I bumped into because in campus I studied PR and I applied like any other graduate, applied for an internship, and Standard called me and they gave me an opportunity. I remember on the day for the interview, they gave us 3 options: production, technical, and library. I thought technical and library was a bit boring, so I thought production, and I didn't know what production was all about. But somehow when I landed into the job, I learned into it, and it's one of the most amazing things I'm doing today, and probably that's my future, so who knew?
It's in my blood, it's in my DNA since I was born. When I used to cry, my mother tells me she used to play for me some music over the radio, or I'll just listen to radio, KBC those days, and I'll just sleep. I'll fall asleep.
And yes, I did know I wanted to be a journalist and a news anchor for that matter from an early age, because when I was in primary school, I used to perform public speakings and verse speakings, and I did very well. So I knew what I wanted to become from an early age.
No, when I was going in campus, I wanted to be a journalist. I knew from the start. I knew this is what I wanted to be. Yeah, but maybe camera work, but not editing. Yes.
I always wanted to be in journalism. The first time was when I was very young in primary school, where I loved those who used to report on radio, and I just wanted to be like one of them.
Well, there you have it, and quite a number of varying opinions there. And one of the things that we see is that there's a gentleman there who says that it was actually in his DNA. He felt that this is what he was supposed to do right from the beginning. We have a lady who says that she bumped into it, and we also have Najma who says she was already doing public speaking before. Now, let me introduce our panel this morning, and to my extreme left we have Reverend Jesse Mwai. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
We also have Miss Virginia Njuguna, who is a cross-curricular teacher. Thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you.
Let me start with you, Reverend. And I'm sure you probably approach it from the good book. But generally speaking, are we all cut out to do a certain thing, or is that something that is modeled over time?
I think we all cut out to do something. The way we are created, God is a God of purpose. And God creates that purpose. Every one of us has a particular purpose. So when we are created, I believe that he puts that purpose in every one of us. So every one of us, I really do believe that there's something that we are actually cut out for, and we're actually gifted to do it, we are talented to do it, and we have the power to be able to do it.
Okay. Miss Virginia, as a teacher, I'm sure you come across very many varied, I don't want to call them types, but students. They are different. They are all nurtured and gifted differently. Do you agree with Reverend that we are all cut out to do a certain thing, or is that something as a teacher that you can develop over time?
I agree that every one of us has a purpose in life. The difference is the parents, or we come from different environments where you have children who are made to believe that this is what you should do, and others who actually are nurtured into that. So that I would agree, and to an extent say that it's an environmental issue as well, because if you want to say become a singer, for example, and your parents want you to become a doctor and they're the ones paying the school fees, it then becomes a conflicting issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me start with you. Are you doing what you are cut out to do? Do you love what you do?
Absolutely.
How did you end up there?
Actually, by chance. I never thought for the life of me I would be a teacher, first of all, because I remember in 1997, we were home for 3 weeks because of Hakietu teachers with placards. So for me, a teacher was a very poor, desperate person. So anyway, went on, did high school. After high school, I volunteered at a children's home. And it was actually there that the plight of children that really touched me. And I got to see the difference that being a teacher makes, and the joy of just seeing a transformed child through education. And when I was choosing my degree, education, on what to do, education was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you transition? What did you want to be before you at some point you felt a teacher was somebody desperate, to use your words? What is it that you are desiring to be at that time?
Doctor, pilot, because they made good money at that time, or so I thought. It was the in thing. If you either wanted to be a lawyer, a doctor, or a pilot. I wanted to be a lawyer because my uncle is a lawyer, and I thought him driving a big car was good motivation for me to as well do that. But that wasn't me. After Form 4 and after doing that stint in the children's home, I realized that's not me at all.
Okay, so how did you transition to now accept that I can actually be a teacher?
The 1 year in that children's home made me, it's the experiences. I wouldn't say there was one point there was a catch-up moment, or there was this big lightning moment that, now you are a teacher, follow the,
You had the voice.
no, nothing of the sort.
Okay.
It was the experiences over time, and I realized I loved what I did. And then we're getting 3,500 shillings, which really cannot put food on the table today. But I really enjoyed it. Sometimes would go without pay for 3 months, but I still went back. It looked crazy, but I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reverend, as you say that we are all cut out to do a certain thing, how does one go about identifying that thing, given that there's so many voices speaking to you? Like she mentions, and I'm sure others would agree, teaching is not one of those, highly esteemed professions because of the challenges they go through. Yes. The other voices that are saying the big car, you've got the doctor who feels, they're doing something, and also the money aspect of it. How does one actually identify that this is what I'm cut out to do?
And I think the challenge, if we could just start with the challenge, like you've just mentioned, I think the major challenge has always been the big car, those big things, the trophies, and the things that we get from the things that we do, and that has a way of kind of crowding us out, such that we are not able to come to that place and ask ourselves, what is it that I'm really cut out for? I believe that whatever you're cut out for is already somewhere inside of you. You can actually, it's your heartbeat really. It's something that you get excited about. You're passionate about it. It's something that you desire to do. In fact, the way that I look at it in a radical way, I keep saying that the thing that you're cut out for, nobody has to pay you to do it. It's something you can actually do for free because you enjoy it. The primary reward for the thing that you are cut out for is the passion that you have for it and the fulfillment that you get out of it. The problem is that sometimes when we put money, when we put these other rewards and how the world appreciates some of these things, that's where I think we begin to go wrong. Then we begin thinking of it in terms of what will give me the most money, not what will give me the most satisfaction. So I really do believe that that one has to quiet themselves down long enough to ask ourselves, what is this thing that I'm so passionate about?
Okay, and for those of you watching at home, remember you're welcome to participate. You can do that via Twitter, and the Twitter handle is at KTN News or at Michael G. Gitonga. And I'll come to you, to Miss Virginia. And you managed to fall in love with the fact that you were working in a children's home, and by chance that eventually became your career. But you've just mentioned that you were getting paid 3,500 shillings, which of course is hardly motivation. How did the enjoying what you're doing overcome the money aspect of it? Because many of us are driven by the reward of the money aspect.
I would look at it from 2 points. One, what is it that drives you? What is the one thing that you can do? If I took you, Micah, and I roused you from sleep, would you read the news? If you'd rather do something else, then I think it doesn't matter whether you're paid 1,000,000 shillings, you will never really be happy. And so looking at it, the 3,500, yes, was tough to get. And at times I would walk long distances. I mean, because I couldn't afford a matatu. But just the fulfillment of seeing lives changed at that point, and seeing children whose, lives would just transform, would come from very, difficult backgrounds, was one thing that drove me. It's then on top of that, for the 3,500 then to raise up to the next level, then comes in the issue of skill. Was I willing to work on that skill and sharpen it good enough for someone to be able to actually reward the skill vis-a-vis what I'm actually giving in terms of teaching? So it's a lot of work. Nothing good ever comes out of just lazing around.
Okay.
You have to be willing to put in the work.
Right. Reverend, obviously hard work comes into play, and hard work does not necessarily mean pain. We associate hard work with pain.
That's right.
Because sometimes the hard work we're trying to do is because we're misfits.
Yes.
We're not really doing what we should be doing.
That's right.
But how does one now, once you've identified that this is what I'm made out for, how do you develop that?
It is important, I think, in my opinion, to also get input, I think, especially from those people who are around you, because it's always important also to look at your own life through the eyes of the people that know you, the people that care about you. Maybe if you have parents, if you're a young person, you have parents, or you have, even your teachers, for example, those people who have a great influence in your life will have a say. They can actually tell you, I think, from observing you, from watching you, you're gifted in a certain area. And I think once you come to that place where you realize that maybe this is what I'm cut out for. I enjoy doing this. I'm passionate about certain things. I'm passionate about reading news. I'm passionate about business. It's important for you to sharpen that talent. It is important for you to go to school. Pursue it. Go and get some education. Because the talents and the gifts that are within us are usually very much in a raw form. And it will serve you very well for you to get some education. Go and get yourself some good education in that particular field, and then also find other people who have been successful in that area, and try and model your life around those kind of people. Talk to people around, because at the end of the day, no man is an island. We cannot be who we are on our own. You cannot make it in this life on your own. You need other people. You need input from other people. So I will say you need to find those voices that will help you, people who are around you. Number two, you need some good education. I think we can never underestimate the importance of going to school. And then finally, look for those role models, people you can model your life around, especially in the area that you feel that you want to pursue.
Okay. Ms. Virginia, let's go to the how to, the practical now how to. How does one identify that this is my area? You've mentioned that for you, you bumped into it because you happened to work as a volunteer, and out of that, wow, you found it. We also have the lady who was interviewed earlier, who got an opportunity, and there were 3 given. Unfortunately, she landed on something which she enjoys. But now, if somebody's seated at home and they're struggling, thinking, I've met many people who actually do not know what is it that they're made out to do. How does one go about identifying that?
If then that is your struggle, look for people who, I would agree with Reverend Jesse, look for people who care about you, who have seen you